Hello everyone, this is the second part of Standard 8 Science Chapter 5 Coal and Petroleum. So we left where the occurrence of petroleum. Now we'll read about the refining of petroleum. The various hydrocarbons present in petroleum have different boiling points. So the different hydrocarbons which is present, the different particles which is present in the petroleum, they have different boiling point. As the number of carbon atoms in a hydrocarbon increases, its boiling point also increases. If the compounds of hydrocarbons will increase, their temperature, their boiling point will also increase. This property is used to separate the different components of petroleum by fractional distillation. So the different components are get separated from the petroleum. Different components of petroleum are get separated by the process of fractional distillation. It happens by giving heat to it, okay? And the process of separating the fractions by fractional distillation is known as refining. So this process of fraction by fractional distillation are done. This process is called refining. Crude oil is first heated to about 400 degrees Celsius in a furnace. The vapor formed are passed into a tall fractionating tower. The hydrocarbons with the highest boiling points condensed first. They get collected near the base of the fractionating tower. You can see here the fractional distillation of petroleum in the figure 5.7 is given. You can see this process. This process is done to separate the different components which is present in the petroleum. Alright. Each fraction gives different components. Alright. First, at the last, the residue means the leftover is collected. The heavy oil is collected in the here petroleum is going. This is a furnace, an object. Heat is given out. After that, the heavy oil gets settled in the down. After that, this is a light oil. After that, kerosene is being made. After that, gasoline naphtha is made, and at last, this is fractionating tower from which this petroleum gas is coming out. Alright. Each fraction obtained is itself a mixture of several hydrocarbons. So each fractions of this fractionating tower, it gives different components. Uses of petroleum. Mainly these uses of petroleum are, these are mainly used in the vehicles, in giving heat. Also, these are, in addition, some chemicals obtained from petroleum are used to make medicines, ointment and cosmetics. Through petroleum, cosmetics are also made, medicines are also made. We have a different types of uses of petroleum. Further, fractional distillation of petroleum fractions yield chemicals that are used to manufacture materials such as plastic, synthetic fiber. Through fractional distillation, other compounds are also made, like some chemical compounds are also made, like synthetic rubber, plastic, explosives are also made from the petroleum. Now we'll read about natural gas. Natural gas is found along with petroleum in reservoirs under the ground. So these natural gas are also present inside the earth, in like the petroleum found in the rocks. It is also found in the rocks. It is chiefly made up of methane, though butane and propane are also present in small proportions. It can be easily transported through pipes and is a clean, non-polluting fuel. So natural gases are known as non-polluting. These are non-polluting. These gives less polluting, less smoke. It is stored under high pressure as compressed natural gas. CNG are used in these are the compressed natural gas. These are stored under high pressure, and we use it in our daily lives. This gives very less smoke. CNG is used for power generation. CNG, these natural gases are used for to generate power, to generate electricity also. In some parts of India, example Vadodara, CNG is supplied to homes and factories through pipes and directly used as fuel. So in some places in India, these are directly provided at homes and they are directly used as fuel. CNG is also now being used as a non-polluting fuel for vehicles. Although it is non-polluting, so people are now preferring to use CNG apart from using other fuels, which gives a lot smoke, pollutes the air also. Natural gas is used as a starting material for the manufacture of a number of chemicals and fertilizer. So these are also used as the chemical and chemicals and fertilizers. Deposits of natural gas are found in India in Tripura, Rajasthan, Maharashtra and in the Krishna Godavari Delta. So these are mainly found in these parts of India. Now we'll read about energy and technological development. Our energy needs have been increasing at a tremendous pace due to two main reasons. One is the increase in population. The other more important is that as we progress and develop new technologies, we need more energy. Okay, so energy is also needed. So these are increasing. Why? Because of the population it is increasing, because of the other reason which is very important is the increase in technologies. As we are the ideas are occurring in our mind, and through these ideas we are setting up new industries and making our work much more easy, so they also need energy to work. To power the new gadgets made by the use of the new technologies. For example, the tremendous development in the field of computers in the last few years has meant that computers are now widely used in factories, offices, shops and homes. Manufacturing and using these billion of computers uses up huge amounts of electrical energy. So as we are growing, as we are, the technologies are increasing, they also need tremendous amount of energy to build themselves and make our work easy. Some areas in which energy consumption has increased several times are as follows. Manufacturing goods in factories uses up huge amounts of energy. As we are setting up factories and so in factories huge machineries are to be kept, are to be needed, and it takes up huge manufacturing goods. When we manufacture goods in industries and factories, they want a lot of energy. They uses up a huge amount of energy. In agriculture, energy is needed for running tube wells, tractors and other machines. So for farming also, energy is needed to do farming. Like energy is needed for running tube wells, for tractors and for machineries. Food processing and storage of food in cold storage houses uses up huge amount of energy. So to preserve food, energy is needed. So means everything, to make the things which makes our work easy, they need a huge amount of energy. We use much more energy at home today due to the increased number of electrical gadgets such as refrigerator, air conditioner, washing machine and etc. Electricity is the major source of energy today. So as we know, without electricity our survival is very difficult. So and electricity is known as the important source of energy. The use of electrical energy has shown a tremendous surge in the past few decades. As the technology is increasing, as we are developing, we need a lot of energy to maintain that development. However, electrical energy is not a natural source of energy, and as we have seen in this chapter, is produced in many ways, both by conventional and by non-conventional sources of energy. Setting up new generation plants is very expensive and time consuming. So as we know, when we are setting these energies are carried out by the conventional and non-conventional processes, as we read earlier in this chapter. By different processes we generate energy. In India today, the supply of electrical energy is far lower than our requirements. That is why we suffer power cuts. Several of our villages do not have access to electricity. In several other villages, where electricity is available, the supply is insufficient and unreliable. So, as we knew that the supply of electrical energy is far lower than our requirements. In India, the supply of the electrical energy is far lower than as we require. As we know that some villages have good supply of electrical energy, but some villages do not have good supply of electrical energy. This affects us in several ways. Our food production suffers as sufficient electrical power for electricity for proper irrigation is not available. So if the proper power will not if proper electrical power will not be supplied to the villages where farming is being done, they will means the farming will get affected by this, but the process of irrigation cannot happen. Our industrial production suffers as factories cannot run full time. Shortage of electricity also limits the use of new technologies for development. All this affects the development of our country. As we are not much developed, the electrical energy cannot be uniformly distributed throughout the world. So that because of these shortages, the developments also gets hampered. Preventing energy crisis. How we will prevent the energy crisis? As our energy needs increase at a tremendous pace, as energy crisis in the near future is a distinct possibility, the steps we need to take to prevent these are as follows. Here are some steps from which we can we can prevent the energy crisis. Using energy judicially. Judicially use of energy implies that we do not waste energy. We use energy in a efficient, in a proper manner. If we will use the resources and if we will use the energy in a proper and the right amount, if we will not waste the energy, then it can be saved. It can be prevented from the energy crisis. The energy crisis can be prevented. Not wasting energy means we should not waste the energy. Like we should switch off when we are getting out of our room, we should switch off the lights and fans because to save the energy. Alright, when not in use, so we should switch off those appliances which consume energy. We should put it off when they are not in use. Reduce the flame while cooking and when the water starts boiling to save fuel. So we should also reduce the flame when we are not we should also reduce the flame while cooking. It also saves the fuel. Using methods where energy spent is less. Using CFLs and tube lights or better LEDs which are now available, though still expensive. CFLs have toxic mercury in them which LEDs do not have, which use less energy and instead of bulbs. So we should use we should use LED bulbs which consume less energy. Using public transport instead of private vehicles as much as possible. Walking and cycling. So if it is possible to walk or to cycle, we should not use our vehicle, means we should conserve the fuel also. Using pressure cookers for cooking, using efficient smokeless chulhas in houses instead of kerosene coal or wood for cooking. So if we will not if we will use efficient smokeless stoves, then it will not pollute the air, it will not give out smoke. If it will delay the energy crisis. Using these methods and these process, this will delay the energy crisis. Now we'll read about the conservation of fossil fuels. India produces only about 30% of petroleum that we need. We import the rest. The exhaustible resources like coal and petroleum will be finished soon. So these are exhaustible, means it can be exhausted in any time. Because these fossil fuels need a million of years to reform itself. So we should use it, we should conserve it, and we should use it in a proper and in a balanced manner. Okay. We can also use natural gas as a substitute. Substitute means means usi ka substitute. The reserves of natural gases discovered by us have gone up 10 times within the 20 years. As the population is increasing, the need of these resources are also increasing. Alternative sources of energy such as solar, wind, biomass should be used in the place of fossil fuel. If we can use the substitute of it, means it has the similar properties. Substitute means the other substance also have the similar properties as the fossil fuel, as the other has. If we have to conserve it, we should use the substance which has the similar properties, which can make our work easy. Biogas is a cheap and convenient fuel for our rural population. It is produced from the waste products like human waste, cattle dung, garbage, etc. Effective use of biomass to derive many products of industrial and commercial importance has increased in the progress of biotechnology. Biogas are made up of means human waste and animal waste. It is also a substitute of fossil fuels. So if we have to conserve the fossil fuels, we can also use biogas. It is also cheap, and it has the same property as a fossil fuel has. So many industries and factories are practicing to use it, and they are conserving the fossil fuel. Here your chapter is completed. I'll provide you question and answers through WhatsApp group. Stay home, stay safe. Thank you, class.